It was a January type of a day. It was kind of dreary, kind of rainy a little bit, like a misty type of a morning. Sometimes winter in Ohio is just flat out gray. Got to school, just checked my emails, things like I normally do. You know, it was a Friday, so I don't have a lot going on a Friday morning as far as needing to see kids. I grab my radio, I head outside for that morning drop-off. Things seemed normal until I got a radio call from the office. It was loud, it was fast, and honestly, I could not understand a word that she had said in the radio. Started making my way back in the building because I just wanted to check, see what was going on as far as why did she radio me. And as soon as I set foot into the building, I looked through the glass door into the office. I knew something was not right, just something wasn't right. I went through that main office door. I said, what's going on? And they said there's a shooter in the high school hallway. I said, get in my office and stay in my office. Just started running down the hallway towards the high school. You know, once I got there, our high school principal, Greg, was there. The only thing that we could see was a backpack down by the water fountain, which is right outside that bathroom. It was dead silent. I mean, dead silent. I could hear some voices in the bathroom. I heard one person say, "You don't have to do this. Nobody has died yet." You know, I walked in, Greg was right behind me, and I could see Logan was on the floor in the bathroom. Kind of popped his head up and looked at me and just said, "He shot me." And as soon as he said he shot me, I mean, it was just like the room just boom, it was alive. Like everything in that room I was completely and totally aware of that just I hadn't been when I stepped in. And I could see a shotgun barrel sticking out of the stall, the far stall in the bathroom. I heard a voice in the stall, and as soon as I heard that voice in the stall, I knew exactly who it was. You know, as a young man that I knew very well as a student, as a young man that I knew as an athlete, that he was on our football team, a young man that I had the privilege of coaching, you know, and I even said his last name, and he said, "I'm sorry, Coach." I asked him to set the gun down, and he did. I asked him to lay down, and he did. And I told Greg, I said, you got to go get help.
I could tell immediately in his voice that he was extremely tense. And he says, "There's just been a shooting at school. We've got the weapon. Everything's okay, but you probably need to get here pretty quickly." I always thought that, you know, it would never happen here, you know. So for something like this extreme to happen, it shocks you. You just don't plan on it. And I think that obviously goes to show it's very important for everybody to have some sort of response and training, such as Alice, to make sure that you're ready to respond to a dangerous situation.
You felt pressure during the training, and so that training made you want to respond in the training itself. So I think that translates very well over to the actual event where, you know, there is that pressure, so let's respond. You feel like you can make a decision. That to me is the number one thing that comes out of Alice. Sharing what we went through and how we were prepared for what we went through, I think it does have the impact to save lives.
When I got here that day and arrived on the scene, I couldn't believe how well our students had implemented Alice. In less than 2 minutes, our whole high school wing had pretty much evacuated the building. The doors were barricaded, they had broken out windows. The thought process and the decisions that the staff and students made that day, it was very clear that Alice had done its job as far as giving them the information enough to be able to make decisions and in a very quick fashion to save their lives.
The average response time is somewhere in between 10 and 20 minutes. Let's make it 15 minutes for your average response time for law enforcement officers. So what my hope is that I can bridge the gap in between law enforcement into young individuals. If you're shopping, if you're in a different store, you can always use Alice no matter where you're at. It's not just for the school, it's for everyday life.
If it never happens, and it's never going to happen, that is absolutely wonderful. And I pray to God it doesn't. But why not be ready? Why not be ready? We all put our seatbelts on. I hope nobody gets an accident. I've got health insurance. I've got car insurance. I don't want to have to use it, but I have it. Sometimes bad things happen, and it pays to be prepared. You know, my kids are in this building. I've got a brother that teaches in that hallway. A cousin that teaches in the hallway. I've got nieces and nephews. I got great friends in that hallway, let alone the building. So, yeah, there's a lot to lose. Yeah, I don't want to lose it.